Buildings proposed for constructions shall be identified according to their use or the character of its occupancy. Good day. Welcome to our presentation, Building by Occupancy. There are 10 groups of occupancies subdivided into 25 divisions, and we are going to report the 2 of them. So, sit back, relax, listen, and enjoy as we continue with our presentation. In behalf of the team, I would like to introduce to you our members, starting with Inoria Carla Angelica, Gador Meca, Goles Jano, yours truly, Adriana J. Delin, Harder Janica, Javier Lizelle Ann, Legaspi Carmina, Limsa Precious Lay, Servida Nova, and Soletano Joanne. And this is CEBSDN33Z, and we are from the section of E32. In Group D Institutional, it mainly focuses in government and health services, starting with Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3, in which provided that Group D occupancies shall not include building used for private or family group dwelling purposes.
Family group dwelling means 2 or more families residing on an apartment or house located in the same lot.
For Group J Accessory, we have divisions, Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3.
Accessory and institutional buildings are classified into 3 divisions, Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3.
So, now we're going to discuss about its use, the principal, accessories, and conditional. To start with, the Group D institutional details. Division 1, under its principal we have asylums, police and fire stations, correctional institution, rehabilitation center, leprosaria and quarantine stations. And for the Division 2, we have hospitals and sanitaria, nurseries for children and kindergarten, nursing homes, and lastly, we have orphanage. For the accessory, we have welfare homes, and orphanages, rehabilitation centers, and vocational training centers, military camps, reservation, bases, and lastly, the training grounds. For the zoning classification of Division 1, we have general institutional, a community to national level of institutional use or occupancy characterized mainly as low-rise, medium-rise, or high-rise building structure for medical, government service, administrative, and related activities.
Penitentiary and correctional institutions are also included.
And for Group J Accessory, we have in Division 1, the principal, agricultural structures. In Division 2, we have private garage and carports, tower smokestacks and chimneys, swimming pools including shower and locker room. And in Division 3, we have stages, platforms, and similar structures, pelotas, tennis, and badminton or basketball courts. And in Accessory, we have in Division 1, cultivation, raising and growing of staple crops, growing of diversified plants and trees, silviculture and mushroom culture, fishing and fish. And for Division 2, we have all uses, occupancy permitted in all other divisions. So for zoning classification in Division 1, agricultural and agricultural related use or occupancy, and agro-industrial and agro-industrial related use or occupancy. In Division 2, we had PUD or the Planned Unit Development that refers to land development or redevelopment schemes for a new or built-up project site.
Agricultural structures includes barns, sheds, poultry houses, piggeries, hatcheries, stables, and greenhouses and silos. Its principal use also includes tanks, fence over 1.80 meters high, and also separate walls. Its principal use also includes tombs, aquariums, aviaries, zoo structures, mausoleums, and niches, and also banks and records vaults.
Moving forward, we have allowable maximum total gross floor area or the TGFA. It states that the allowable maximum total gross floor area or the TGFA of any proposed building or structure shall only be allowed under this rule. The percentages indicated in the third through 8 columns but excluding the multiplier numbers of 3, 5, 12, and 18, and 30 are the percentages of the total lot area that may be used to initially determine the allowable maximum TGFA for a proposed building or structure. Also, the allowable maximum TGFA once established must be thoroughly cross-checked with the AMVB to find out if the AMVB is not exceeded. If exceeded, the necessary adjustments in the maximum allowable TGFA must be made since the AMVB must always prevail. So, see in this figure of allowable maximum total gross floor area by type or the location of the lot, notes that the building height limit or the BHL multiplied by the allowable maximum building footprint or the AMBF expressed as percentage of the total lot area or the TLA. So we have institutional, type of building, under it we have without sprinkler system and with sprinkler system. Without sprinkler system and firewalls starts with BHL multiplied to the 50% of the total lot area, and with sprinkler system starts with the building height limit multiplied to the 60% of the total lot area.
Remember, TGFA stands for Total Gross Floor Area, AMVB stands for Allowable Maximum Volume of Building, TLA stands for Total Lot Area, AMBF means Allowable Maximum Building Footprint, and BHL means Building Height Limit.
Next, we have the building height limit. It states that the maximum height and number of stories of proposed building shall be dependent upon the character of use or occupancy and the type of construction, considering end-user population density, light and ventilation, width of the R-row streets, particularly of its roadway or the carriageway component, building bulk, off-street off-site parking requirements, and etc. Number 2, the determination of building height. We have the BHL or the building height limit states that the maximum height to be allowed for building structures based on their proposed use or occupancy. And the building height or the BHL of any proposed building structure shall only be as followed under this rule or under the duly approved city or the municipality zoning ordinance, whichever is more restrictive.
BHL is also determined after the application of other development controls and certain other parameters, example, considerations of the conditions, view, and etc. It shall be also generally measured from the established grade line to the topmost portion of the proposed building or structure. It excludes the height of permitted or allowed projections above the roof of the building or structure like signage, mast, antenna, telecom tower, beacons, and the like.
As you can see in this figure of the building height limit, we have the institutional and the accessory or the agricultural, agro-industrial, and tourism. We have same 15 meters or must follow the duly approved BHL in the major zone it is part of as a building height limit. So for the last part of our discussion here in our presentation, we have the minimum required off-street. To start with the Group D or the institutional, we have Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3. In Division 1, we have mental hospitals, sanitaria, and mental asylums, in which requires one off-street on-site car parking slot for every 12 or every 25 beds and one off-row passenger loading space that can accommodate 2 queued jeepney shuttle slots. In Division 2, we have public hospitals and private hospitals. In public hospitals, it requires one off-street on-site car parking slot for every 25 beds and one off-row passenger loading space that can accommodate 2 queued shuttle slots. On the other hand, for the private hospitals, we have one off-street on-site car parking slot for every 12 beds and one off-row passenger loading space that can accommodate 2 queued jeepney shuttle slots. And for the Division 3, we have nursing homes for ambulatory patients, school and home for children over kindergarten age orphanages. We have one off-street on-site car parking slot for every 12 beds and one off-row passenger loading space that can accommodate 2 queued jeepney shuttle slots. Next is the Group J or the accessory. In Division 1, we have the agriculture-related use or occupancies not required if located outside urbanized area. It notes that the parking slot requirements shall be an integral part of building structures, and any parking slot provided outside the building structure will be quantified only as buffer parking. The following prohibitions on parking slots is: first, we have the conversion or the change of use or the occupancy. Second, we have the reduction of parking spaces. Third, we have encroachment on RROW. And lastly, we have the public utility and bulky vehicles. So that would be for today, and thank you for watching in our presentation. Hope you like it. See you next time.